All right, we live. Salute everybody. What's going on? KQ, how you doing this morning?
Yes, sir. I'm doing fine, brother. I'm doing fine. Yes, sir.
Man, it was a busy weekend of fights. I had, especially last night. I had the TV up, the laptop up, the phone up, listening to you, watching the laptop, looking at the TV, watching the TV, looking down at you, trying to
Uh,
comment. Man, it was crazy. A lot of great cards, man. A lot of
yes,
great
sir.
cards. And you had a
Uh-huh.
great call last night for that Morel card too, man.
Oh, yeah. David Morrell. Yeah, that was a good card, man. Yes. That David Morrell is for real.
Yeah,
He
he
is
the
for
truth.
real.
We're gonna
No.
definitely get to him. Look, everybody, as y'all come in the building, be sure to smash the like button. We got a lot to cover today, a lot to cover, and we're gonna keep going on the recaps. We got a card from Friday, some cards from Saturday. Then once we get through the cards from Saturday, we'll maybe talk about a little news. There's been some big news in the welterweight division that we'll probably touch on later on in the show. So
Yes, sir.
y'all be sure to hang out with us, man. It's gonna be a fun morning of boxing talking. When you come in the building, let us know you here by smashing on the like button so YouTube will do its thing. Share the video and share the live stream with everybody. So we can get it popping, man. We can get a good audience in here. Let's see. Um, I I want to start with this because I don't want to get started on recapping the fights before everybody gets here. Let's did you see? We can go ahead and start with the big news. Did you see what's going on in the welterweight division? Did you see about Earl Spence and Udinese guys?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, man. What's your thoughts on that announcement? Looks like the WBA is going. Standing Owners has agreed to step aside, and looks like everyone's reporting that the fight between Earl Spence and Udinese Ugas is confirmed for unification. Ugas will put his belt on the line, and Earl Spence is going to have his two belts on the line. What are your thoughts on that? And then how do you think Terrence Crawford and his fans are feeling this morning?
Well, now Earl positioned himself um kind of back against the wall in a way. Now, to be honest, I think Stannis, he did the right thing. He stepped aside and let these two guys go ahead and unify. Now, I don't know what his step aside purse is or whatever. It don't matter. What matter is undisputed. What matter is the two best guys in there. What matters is two champions in there. What matters is three belts are up for grabs. And right now, Earl Spence is halfway there. Now, of course, when he fight you guys, okay, there you go. He has one more belt to capture. Now, this is the question. Can he make that fight for that last belt? Now, that is
Mm.
the hard part. That's going to be a very, very challenging position to take for Earl Spence. Now, remember, Terrence Crawford is a free agent now. So I don't know where he's getting his advice from. I don't know who's his advisor. But right now, Earl Spence positioned himself in a good place right now. Now,
Mm.
as far as the fight goes, I think Earl Spence is going to have to be on his P's and Q's. Because your Dennis, you guys, he can fight. And
Yeah, he can fight.
he's fundamentally sound. He's not going to give you a lot of lateral movement. So Earl Spence is a southpaw. And your Dennis, you guys got that long reach where he can wrap that right if he don't have that left hand up. So, but hey, I'm happy to hear that. I mean, either that or Terrence Crawford. Give us something. So, I
Yeah,
take that. I take it. I take it. No doubt about it. So, but that's good
it-
news. That's good
I
news.
got you. If you Terrence Crawford or one of his fanboys or one of his fans, and you waking up this morning, how do you feel? How do you think they feel this morning?
Man, pissed off. Because see, they know that okay, well, this fight is gonna happen and maybe happen maybe about 3 months from now, maybe let's say that. All right, but this is definitely gonna happen. Okay. Now, what about Terrence? What he's gonna
Mhm.
do in the meantime? Is he gonna tape a tune up or stay busy fight? And he taking a risk if he do that too. So
Facts.
so therefore, his friends and him, they feeling like, man, I asked the IBF to make me his mandatory, but the IBF said no, 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 and they ignored them. And the WBA, they finally came to their senses and said, you know what,
Yeah.
we got to do the right thing, and these guys want to unify, and that's what it's all about. All
And
right,
they get more money. they get more money this way. The
Eh,
sanctioning fees are
right.
bigger this way. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Uh-huh.
So what I think what makes me happy as a boxing fan is that Spence came out and told us he didn't want a tune up. He wanted to fight a champion next. And it looked like Ugas was off the board. So I've been maintaining, I've been saying it need to either be a mandatory because one of them belts he got, they mandate him to fight somebody, or he got to fight Crawford. Those were his only options. Now, this option came out of somewhat left field for me, and it just proves that the WBA isn't serious about they only want one belt or they're trying to clean up the sport. They'll do whatever's in their best interest when push comes to shove. And so
Exactly.
I like the consistency of they're allowing Murata to unify up at 160. So why not allow Ugas to unify? And for Spence, I just like the path of he's still trying to fight the best. He's fighting another champion. Did I want Crawford next? Yeah, I wanted Crawford next, but he's fighting in February, and that's 4 months from Crawford's last fight. There's no
Mhm.
shot that Crawford will be ready in February anyway. So I can hear the narratives coming. I can hear people saying, he's ducking Terrence Bud
Yep.
Crawford, but
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the
Yep.
day, you can't really say that if he's fighting in February and Crawford won't be ready to fight in February anyway. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? So it,
right.
it kind of is what it is with that. But as long as hopefully now this will get us a step closer to them meeting up in 2022 because they literally have nowhere to go, assuming that Crawford can take care of business. And then if you Terrence Crawford, I don't know what you do because everybody seemed like they got fights right now. He's kind of. I remember the narrative people were pushing was that Spence was backed into a corner, and I thought that too. I was like,
Right.
damn, he can only fight Crawford. Ennis might be his mandatory. Virgil Ortiz might be his mandatory.
Mhm.
Shit, he might well fight Crawford because all of those are risky fights. Well, now the tables have turned because if you go look at the WBO rankings, they got Virgil Ortiz number one, and they got Ennis right up under him. And then
Mhm.
he can't go fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is fighting Barrios. Ugas and Spence are fighting. They order Stanionis to fight Butayev. So he ain't got nowhere to go, man.
Right.
He
Yeah.
ain't got Crawford ain't got nothing to do. So he can either wait and risk being the one that was inactive. He can wait to fight Spence later on in the year or get a fight in between.
Keith
And then you
Thurman,
know how
maybe.
it is. If he if
Yeah.
he get a fight in between and it's a subpar opponent, some people are gonna criticize him. I'm not. I wouldn't mind a stay busy fight. I'm cool with that. I just hope that
Right.
we get to see those two brothers mix it up, assuming they can take care of business. I'm not gonna disrespect Ugas, kind of like you. I know he can fight. I know he's a good counter puncher, a highly skilled Cuban fighter. So what I'm gonna say
Mhm.
is, I hope I get to see the winner of Spence and Ugas fight against the winner of Crawford and whoever he fight, or fight Crawford if he decides to just kind of take a chill pill to see how this thing plays out. But I'm excited that the WBA made the right decision. I
You know
really,
what?
really am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now go ahead. You were gonna say you were
No,
gonna
I
say
was
something.
saying that not only the WBA, Al Heyman. You
Yeah.
know, Al Heyman. He pretty much had a little part in this. He played a part in it. And yesterday I was saying, hey, Al Heyman kind of shaky too, which he still is. But
Oh,
uh,
facts. Yeah.
but still, he made a good move. Him and the WBA, they made a good decision to pretty much make this fight happen. It's not just one party. I think it's about three or four parties that made this fight come together. Because see, Earl Spence wants to be undisputed, and now he seems like he's on his way. Now, this will be a good fight, and this probably will be a pay-per-view fight. And you know what? I'm gonna pay for it. I want to see this. I really want to see this because I want to see this out. I want to see this play out all the way to
Yeah.
all four belts. That's what I want to see. Now, if Terrence
Mm-hmm.
Crawford wins, and if they do meet, or when they do meet, hey, let the best man win. Let the
Facts.
best man win. And this is what we've been asking for. And now we getting this in 2022. Well, at least that's one down in 2022. And maybe about 15, 20 more. That's what we want. We want this to carry over what we've been getting for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and carry that over to 2022. And then, you know what? I'm happy. I am happy because every time they have a boxing match, I'm smiling. You know.
Yeah, big facts. As long as we
Yeah.
get some good fights, I'm
Yep.
happy too. And I don't want to make I'm not gonna make the whole show about this, y'all, because we gotta
Right.
get to the fights. But the last thing I'll say on it, and then we'll do a roll call and we'll get to the fights this weekend. Last thing I gotta say on it is I'm not gonna talk all this money split and all of that stuff, but if you take the names out of it, and whoever wins between Spence and Ugas, they'll be going into a Terrence Crawford negotiation with 3 belts. Three
Wow.
belts, and Ugas just did a pay-per-view that did more than let's say he wins. He just did a pay-per-view that did with Manny Pacquiao that did more than Crawford and Porter. And then if he beats Spence, I'm sure Spence and Ugas is probably gonna do more than Crawford and Porter. So whoever
Wow.
wins will
Wow.
have a lot of leverage in those negotiations. I just hope that money and pride and ego doesn't hold up the fight. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's see who we got in the building. We got Chi-Town's finest. What's up, Chi-Town? Demetrius Bright in the building. What's up, Demetrius? How you doing this morning, good brother? We got Spirit in the building. We got MJ78 in the building. Ricky E245 is here. What's up, man? We got Tyrone Spencer. What's good, Tyrone? Peter Von Arks. What's up, Peter? We got That's Me in the building. Salute, that's me. We got Big Texas ATX Cletus Smith in the building. My brother Tim Muse somewhere hanging off a skyscraper, man. He love heights. I don't know how he do it.
I know
But
he be
salute
doing
to you,
that window
Tim.
shit, man. I'm scared of
Yeah,
heights.
man.
Man,
Hell
forget
no.
that.
We was talking about that shit yesterday, man. Travion Two Trill. Salute to you, Travion. Appreciate you coming through, brother. We got Bo Bowl in the building. What up, Bo? Kevin Knight, my brother. Salute to you, Kevin. And I think that's everybody in the building so far. Y'all be sure to smash that like button as you come in. Put your seatbelt on as you hop in the car. So let's get to these fights. We're gonna do the one on Friday. The big light heavyweight showdown for the WBC and IBF title. That was Artur Beterbiev versus Marcus Brown. I apologize to y'all in advance if a lot of these recaps sound like my prediction videos because we had another undefeated week this week. Just want to throw that out there. We
Wow.
did 9 predictions this week. We got all 9 of them right. So y'all do with that whatever you want to do with that. But we're going to go to KQKC first and let him tell us about the fight. He called this fight. Beterbiev versus Marcus Brown did an outstanding job. That's why y'all should all in here be subscribed to KQ. But if you're not, his fight calls are the best on the internet. I'm telling you that right now. So y'all need to go check him out. But KQ calling the fight, having a chance to think about it for a couple of days. What's your reaction to it? What did you think of the Beterbiev Marcus Brown fight?
Well, hey, congratulations, man. You smoking on these predictions, man. Damn.
I appreciate that. Yes,
See,
sir.
that's what I tell y'all, man. Y'all gotta subscribe to Knockout, man. He be doing that analytic shit, He be going in and dissecting this and dissecting that, and But don't blame him if you lose now and shit. Right?
Yeah, don't do that shit. Don't come over here trying to get mad and shit.
Yeah, man, Knockout, you made me lose $300, man. Damn, right? But anyway, that was a good fight. Great fight. And with Marcus Brown, he's a great fighter, no doubt about it. Southpaw, very tall southpaw. But the problem that he had with Beterbiev was that he gave too much lateral movement away too soon. And I don't know his legs wasn't under him or not, but he was doing too much lateral movement. And I get it. He didn't want to get hit by a big punch. But if you notice, Beterbiev, he didn't panic. He took his time. He didn't waste any punches. He didn't throw away punches just to be throwing them away. And when he did shot his shot and let that gun go, I mean, he made it count. He made it count. Why? Because Marcus Brown put himself in a corner. And when you put yourself in a corner and on the ropes, first of all, why are you on the ropes? Why are you on the ropes in somebody's backyard? That is a no-no. All right. He need to bring the fight right back in the center of the ring. Now, of course, Marcus Johnson was trying to match him from power to power, and he don't have that power. See, some guys and some boxers like Gervonta Davis, all right, they are naturally heavy-handed, and that is how Beterbiev is. Now, they say the last thing to go is your power. And that's one thing about Beterbiev. He might be 35, 36, 37, whatever, but his power ain't going nowhere. And Marcus Brown, he felt that. Now, of course, Beterbiev was bleeding a lot, but he was still able to go in there and get the job done. Now, of course, Marcus Brown is a southpaw, and he was trying to pretty much go to the body, but it wasn't phasing Beterbiev. Beterbiev was taking the body shots and like holding his hand up, like, oh, 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 this all you got? Then he came straight forward. And what makes it so bad, this is how I know that he's real heavy-handed. He is an orthodox fighter, but he slapped him with that left hook, like I don't know how many times, and that hurt him. That
With
left,
horrible technique. The technique was horrible. He was
yeah,
slapping him with it. He was still
right.
just fucking him up, man.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was nothing special or nothing like that. He just was slapping him up, then he come with an uppercut, then he slapped him with the right. I mean, it's like he got an old fashioned down south ass whooping, and he made it count, and it did hurt on Brown. So now, what Brown could have done? Now, this is what Brown could have done. Brown could have jumped out and clinch, which he did a lot, but you can't do it that too much because you can get penalized. So what he should have done was use his check hook, get out of there, and bring it right back to the center. Because I noticed that Beterbiev has to pick up that feet and reset every time Brown would move. And that's why he was holding back them punches, because he didn't want to get off balance and get caught with something. Now, Brown is not as strong as Beterbiev, and this is why I say that Canelo Alvarez. Now, Canelo Alvarez did come out and say that Beterbiev don't have anything for him, but I think he do. I think he do. So, but Canelo's not gonna go that route. We know that. We already know that already. He's not gonna go that route because we talking about a puncher versus a puncher. So. So basically, knockout. It was a good fight. And Brown, he made the fight harder than it could have been, because I think he won he lost his first 2 rounds, and I think he won the third and fourth round, but then after that, it was pretty much downhill after that. Now, now I don't know what type of shape he in, but these are big guys. And we talking about from welterweight on up. That lateral movement can take your legs away from you in a minute. And then that plus body shots, I mean, we all know the head moves and the body doesn't. So, and that's what Beterbiev was counting on. He was steering. It's illegal to steer, but he was steering Brown to the corner. And that's what he was doing, going from one turnbuckle to the next and sliding up and down the ropes. And that's a no-no. Get off the ropes from a big puncher like that. So that's his dream. To keep you on the ropes, and then he go to work. And that's what big punchers do. They hope that you get on the ropes, and then what they do, they fire off.
Go to work on you because you can't move, can't do nothing.
Exactly. And Brown, he had a tight guard, but when you got a heavy-handed puncher, he punched it right through that guard, and that's what he did. So, but overall, it was a good fight. It was kind of bloody fight, but not as bloody as like Badu Jack fight, but it still was a bad cut right over the forehead. So, but
yes, sir.
That's all I have on that one.
All right, cool. Salute to the YGB 22 in the building, Brains _Beauty in the building. C Wood and came through. Texas Made, the realest in the building. Salute to all y'all coming through. Be sure to smash that like button. It's free, man. I'm looking at my likes over here. It don't add up. I got more people in here. I got less likes. It's free. I got the Cash Apps too. I got KQKC Cash App down there. I got my Cash App down there. You can hit the super chat button. All that stuff costs money. I understand that, but that like button is free, man. So if you can't donate, that's cool. I ain't tripping. Go ahead and smash the like button for us one time, man. That's very, very free. So Arthur Terpiev and Marcus Brown. Look, man. KQKC dropped a lot of gems on y'all on his breakdown and his reaction. Marcus Brown was moving for no reason at the beginning of the fight, man. And KQKC was kind of, I said, man, he moving too much. He already running around the ring. He gonna get tired. And then about the third round, he ain't look the same no more. You can't just run around the ring. It's one thing to move, right? And to pivot. And what he should have been doing, in my opinion, take the center of the ring, use his jab, throw his combinations, and then when Beterbiev started pressing him, that's when you pivot around. That's when you move right back to the center of the ring, and you repeat that shit
Facts.
all over again. But
Yeah.
just running around the ropes, he just gets you back to the ropes and just run around in a circle and shit. That shit gonna get you tired and it's gonna get you cornered. And then it's like when Beterbiev got cut in the third round by like a headbutt that Marcus Brown, and they clash heads pretty bad because orthodox fighters, and which is Beterbiev and then Brown, who is a southpaw, they clash heads all the time, or they step on each other's feet all the
Yeah.
time. And so they clash heads. They were both trying to throw a punch at the same time. The moment that blood, Beterbiev saw that blood, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he had a flashback or some shit. Maybe I don't know. He suffered some trauma early in his life, but he turned into a monster from that point on, bro. He turned all the way up on Marcus Brown ass, and he just
Yes, sir.
it's certain fighters in certain weight classes that just got an X factor. Like for Gary Russell Jr., it's his hand speed. For Gervonta Davis, it's the pop that he has on his punches down there at them lower weight classes. For Artur Beterbiev at light heavyweight, bro, he's strong. He a different type of strong that you can't really prepare for. There's no way to know what it's like until you get in the ring with him. And then when you feel it, you kind of panic a little bit. And I feel like Marcus Brown felt him like in one of them first 2 rounds. Like, oh shit, okay, I got to get away from this dude. He kind of, I don't like that. And I don't want to say Marcus Brown was scared in the fight, but he fought timid. He fought like he was always aware of what could be coming back at him. And when you start fighting like that, that shit kind of it go downhill from you. So Beterbiev from round 3 until he got the stoppage in round 10, just methodically whooped on Marcus Brown, bagging him into a corner, walking him down, going to the body, going up top. His right hand, like the technique on the right hand is cool. Like he got a nice straight right hand. He loop it around the hook real nice. Even his left hook down low, he get good leverage on. But I don't know, Beterbiev, he slap at you when he throwing that left hook up top. I don't know how he do it, but that shit, man, it worked. It worked because Marcus Brown, whole right side of his face was swole up and cut up and messed up. And then in round 10, he caught him with a left hook to the body. Marcus Brown was on his way down, and then he caught him with that right hand on his way down. Marcus Brown just shook his head like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." And then people are trying to criticize Derrick James for not stopping the fight. Like, man, listen, bro, this because Marcus Brown was getting beat up the 2 rounds before, and they were like, he should have just stopped the fight. This for a world championship. These are professional fighters, man. Get out of here with that soft shit, bro. Especially if they fighting back. KQKC said it last night. Like if 2 fighters are fighting and they fighting each other back, and the dude can still fight. Marcus Brown is strong. He been a champion before. He got good power. He was landing on Beterbiev too. So shit, let him fight and let's see how it go, man. Let him fight and let's see how it go. But overall, Beterbiev at 175 right now. Especially after what I saw with Zurdo last night, and we'll get to that later. I don't know. They gotta wait on him to get old or some shit. They gotta wait on him to get old and age on out, because right now he a problem. He a huge problem for the light heavyweight division. I want to see him unify though. I don't know what's going on with these fighters in unification, but I want to see him unify. So that's my thoughts on it, and it is what it is.
But you know what? Knockout, you right. I just want to bring this up real fast before you move on. You're right, but Beterbiev, whatever. That left hand, it wasn't nothing special. He just threw it and landed. I don't care how it landed, backwards, forward, whatever, slap, whatever, but it was hard. And then it got his attention, and I mean, he just threw it and he threw it fast. And then it's connected. It was there wide open. Now Marcus, he tried to bend over, roll with it, upstairs, down, and then he stood straight up, which was a big mistake. He straight up. I mean, just straight up, chin in the air and everything, and trying to roll with it then. And that's when Beterbiev pretty much teed off on him. And I'm talking about messing up combinations, going to the body, stepping with that left hand, then stepping with the straight right. I mean, it is what it is, so he's a patient fighter. I like that. He's a patient fighter. He doesn't rush in and just want to take you out.
Yeah, he coming that shit like he know it's only a matter of time.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
only a matter of time before I get to you. Then when I get to you, I'm gonna
Right.
whoop your ass. And salute to Vince Williams,
Yep.
Leon Robinson, everybody coming through. Y'all smash the like button as you
Yes,
come up in
sir.
here. So let's get to Saturday. Did you get a chance to check out the first zone card? Did you watch that Joseph Parker and Derek Chisora fight?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I
Man,
haven't.
I called it, man. It was listen, they
Oh,
had
I
a
listened
fight
to your
before.
call. I listened to your call. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a fight before. That first fight was boring as shit. This
Mm-hmm.
fight was not that. This fight was a damn good heavyweight fight. It was a
Okay.
damn good heavyweight fight.
What?
And
Okay.
since I watched it and I called it, I'll break it down for y'all. Listen,
Okay.
Chisora came out exactly how you expect him to come out. He came out going forward. He came out trying to bring the fight to Joseph Parker, but Joseph Parker in the first fight with Chisora, he was just so willing to back up, kind of how Marcus Brown did in the first 2 rounds with Beterbiev. But not this
Mm-hmm.
time. Parker stood his ground and he started landing that right hand, and then he started having a right uppercut on deck for Chisora. Every time, because Chisora, he like to come in and he like to dip his head and do that old 1922 cross guard that
Right.
they used to do. I don't know what that shit is. I don't know
George
who
Frakes used to do that.
yeah, I don't know who still teach that shit, but he was still trying to do it.
Uh-huh.
And every time he was doing it, man, Parker was timing his ass with a right uppercut. And Parker dropped him and hurt him multiple times in that fight. Multiple times in that fight. And Chisora showed he a warrior. He got up and he kept coming. And he started landing shots on Parker, making Parker look tired, working his body, working his head. And the fight went all 12 rounds. And it was a damn good fight. Joseph Parker won by unanimous decision, just like I thought he was. He clearly won the fight, but it was one of those fights where you go away from it and you were impressed with Derek Chisora, with the heart that he showed, the grit that he showed,
Right.
and just how much of a dog he is. And then they were talking to him about retiring after the fight. He said he refused to retire. He said he ain't going nowhere. So for Joseph Parker, he's still in play. He's still a contender level. I think there's some things missing. I don't know if I consider him like a top 10 heavyweight. But I don't know if he can beat the top of the division. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing him try though. So, salute to him for getting the W. For Derek Chisora, he's to the point now, 12 losses. It's time to start putting him in there with some of them young prospects. Let them build their name. Because if you can beat Chisora, then you're ready for the next step. But overall, man, it was a great heavyweight fight. So I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. But let's move on to the next, and we're gonna go to the card that the OG called. We're gonna go to the card that he called. He called this. I heard him calling this fight that Malik Hawkins and Richardson Hitchens fight that you warmed up with. Damn good fight for them for them fighters, man. Richardson Hitchens show he got a lot of talent. But break it down for us and give us your thoughts on that fight, man. What did you see when you were calling it?
Okay, well, Hitchison versus Hawkins. That was a great fight. That they fought at super lightweight, if I'm not mistaken. And Hitchison, now, this is the question I'm asking myself and asking the chat. No, where has he been? I mean, this guy has everything on point. I mean, his jab was landing. His jab was landing all day. I'm talking about he won maybe 2 rounds just off of jabs alone. And then he started putting his punches together. We are talking about a jab. We're talking about 2 sticks to the head. Then he followed with an overhand right. Then he started working that for a while. Then he went to the jab, overhand right. Then he went down to the body. Then again, he started picking his punches again. Then he came against Hawkins with the jab again, overhand right again, the body shot again, then another counter body shot on the other side. And then after that, he then started working it over and over again. Then he started mixing up his punches. And then he started throwing up, then started throwing down, up, down, round. And then he started feeling pretty good and started dropping his hands and started punching at will. Now, I don't know if you all remember when Mikey Garcia fight Lipinets. Okay, now Mikey Garcia was hitting him with them overhand rights all day long. Matter of fact, I think he knocked him down with one. Well, that's how Kitchen was fighting Hawkins last night. He was coming in with the overhand right. and he was feinting very well. He would feint with the left, and act like he throwing the right, but hit him with the left. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And this is why I can't believe. You got guys like Hitchison. You got guys like Gary Russell Jr. And these guys are very talented, but you don't see them. You don't see them often. And and this is the problem right now. This is the problem. These are guys that we can see and we should be seeing on fighting because they have very great talent. I mean, if you look up Hitchens' record, that's in 4 years. That's all he's done. And now I don't know who fault it is, and I'm not going to try to speculate, but most likely he's with PBC because it was a PBC card. So, but I would love to see him fight again. I would love to see him fight a better competition again. Now that competition wasn't bad because Hawkins, he was landing, but his shots was wide. His shots was wide, and Hitchens was going down the middle. Now we are talking about counterpunching. Okay. Now everybody know what a counterpunch is. Well, Hitchens, no matter what, he made sure he threw back. No matter if he get hit by Hawkins with that right hand, he coming back with another right hand right after that. So therefore, only thing about it is no one really got knocked out like off a right hand. That's the thing about it. So but hey man, I mean Hitchens, he got the goods, but for some reason they won't let him show the goods. And that's what I'm talking about. Now think about this. You got fighters like that tucked away somewhere behind the goddamn curtain. Now let them out.
Keep them active.
Yes,
Gotta
you
keep
gotta
them
keep them active. And I enjoyed that fight. I really did.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Hitchens showed a high skill level. They need to go take a pay. I hate that I'm gonna say this because all this shit is recorded and people can play this back. They need to take a page out of Bob Arum book, man. Keep your fighters active, man. Bob Arum be keeping them young dudes active. They be on every other card.
Yes,
they be on every other card. And I see the homie Teach in the building. I see Volch UK. I see Daryl Deloach in the building. But I ain't see my likes go up, bro. Did y'all slide in the back door without ringing the doorbell or something? Did y'all get in the car and then put your seatbelt on, man?
They went through that window. They went through that
window. Yeah, bro. Bro. Man, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like for me. And salute to Tim Mouze in that super chat with the $5. Got a cup of coffee up there. Yeah, man. OG drinking them monsters. I told him to put him down, but we ain't gonna mess with him today. That's what he want to drink. We're gonna leave him alone. So Richardson, Hitchens, and Malik Hawkins. KQKC.
Wait. Knock out.
Oh, go ahead.
Real fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you said about Bob Arum, you are correct. I keep saying this. That's one thing I can say good about Top Rank. Bob Arum, Todd DeBow, they got a damn good amateur scouting program.
Fact.
They bring in the best of the best and they put them out there. They showcase them. They make sure they get their name. They raise them as pups on up. It's just when they get to that plateau, that's when they get messed around.
Yeah. So, once they become champion, or they can get some real money. He like, hell nah, I can't be paying you. Put your ass on the shelf real quick. Yeah, so it's crazy, man. This Richardson, Hitchens, and Malik Hawkins fight. I believe it was my subscriber and the homie Dionte Hall. He asked me to do this fight, and I went to study it. He told me it was a 50-50 fight, and the more and more I study it, y'all can go check the replay on the prediction video. I said this fight gonna be one-sided. I said Richardson Hitchens is gonna style on Malik Hawkins and do him bad. I just felt like it was a huge talent gap there, and you could tell if you study what they did in the amateurs. Richardson Hitchens, he fought Gary Antoine Russell 3 times and he beat him once. He fought Virgil Ortiz in the amateurs, multiple national Golden Glove champions, while Malik Hawkins only had like 5 or 6 amateur fights. And then you go look at their professional resumes, and this is where you gotta like study a little bit, y'all. If you gonna bet, or if you picking fights or whatever, like Malik Hawkins, it say he was 18-1 going into this fight, y'all. Check this out. Says he was 18-1. He had 11 knockouts. That's a pretty good record. But 4 people on his resume never won before. And of those 4 people, 3 of them retired after 1 fight or 2 fights. Then the one fighter that didn't retire, right, of those 4 people, he fought in 2015. and then he didn't fight again until 2021, and then he lost. So he has an 0-3 record, right? Then you got another person on his resume with 11 losses. Then you got another person on his resume with 24 losses, somebody else with 28 losses, and then somebody else with 18 losses. So if it's 18 wins, that's 8 fighters right there. That's 8 fighters right there that you like, oh man, who did you get off the street to fight this dude? And then when you look at him fight, you can see Malik Hawkins, he reaches in a lot. You can see that he lacks the amateur experience. He reaches in, he lunges in, he falls over his feet. He's always kind of a step behind. And Richardson Hitchens just looked more fluid. You can tell he had been boxing longer, and he just looked, when you were watching the fight, like he was on a different level than Malik Hawkins. So it was a pretty easy one to call. Richardson Hitchens, though, KQKC said it, man. He got to be more active. You can't be 24 years old, been a pro. He been a pro how long? Let me see here. He been a pro since 2017, and he only got 13 fights. Jared Big Baby Anderson fought like 8 times last year, and then like 5 or 6 times this year. Same with Xander Zayas. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta fight more and get those experiences so you can be a better fighter, man. So you can keep growing. They ain't gonna grow like that if you keep them inactive. So hopefully Mayweather and Ellaby and all of them, they can keep these fighters active, and we can get to see him more, because I want to see Richardson Hitchens. Like he was a 2016 Olympian for Haiti. Like he's supposed to be on the fast track with those skills. I do worry about his power if he fights the top of the 140-pound division, because eventually you run into somebody that's more skilled than you, or that's just as skilled as you, and then it turns into a fight. And if you don't have the firepower, it could get ugly for you. So that's my thoughts on him, man. I thought it was a good fight, great performance from him. I'm looking to see more of him. Next we got Jose Valenzuela versus Austin Dulay, the fight where Dulay got knocked down like 20 times. He got knocked down like 20 times in that fight, man. This shit, man, it was entertaining for however long it lasted. But what you got on that fight, KQ, the Valenzuela and Austin Dulay fight?
Well, Venezuela was a big guy. Now, I forgot how old he was. I think he was 20-something years old.
He was 22. He was 22. Dulay was 26.
Okay. He's a big guy. Now, he's not big as Berlango, but he kind of remind me of Berlango, because when he throws with punches and sit down on the punches. Everything he throws, he sits down on them. And then Dulay, of course, he wants to make a fight out of it. First of all, with his type of power, which wasn't hurting Venezuela at all. His reach was a little bit shorter than Venezuela. Now, why would he stand in front of this guy, knowing that this guy can punch, and knowing that them body shots was pretty much hurting? Now, he said it wasn't, but it was. And then he should have pretty much use some lateral movement to keep him off of him. Sure, you can't do it the whole fight, but at least you can stand there and punch occasionally and then get back on your bike, and that's what he needed to do. But the leg got hit flush a couple times and went down, and now he said he got hit behind the head, but I didn't see no head punches. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people kind of got this kind of mixed up last night. All right, now just because Las Vegas got the 3 knockdown rule, that doesn't go for all states. All states don't have the 3 knockdown rule. Of course, they was fighting in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is a different state. So that means that anyone can stop the fight except the 3 knockdown. You can get knocked down 20 times. If you can get back up and fight, go ahead. So, but still in all, Dulay just didn't have the tools, and he didn't have the attributes to fight a Venezuela. A tall guy, a young guy, and a guy that was throwing with power. Now, I'm talking about a reach. He has a long reach. Now, he wasn't up close, but he was back some, and he still was landing that right hand. And he was landing that left hand. So, Dulay, pretty much they did the right thing. So Dulay was getting hurt. He said he got hit behind the head, but I didn't see that happening. But he dominated the fight. It wasn't really too much to say, but Venezuela came right out there in round 1 and went right to the body. And once again, people, all right, the body shot is a lost art. The body shot is a lost art. As you saw last night, as you saw last week, and the week before, and all goddamn summer, that the body shot always, maybe 80% of the time will break your ass down. If you sticking in there hard enough or you sucking in there hard enough, they're going to feel it. And a lot of people miss that because they don't be looking at the body shots. They just looking at the body shots as far as going down to the kidney. They like that, but they don't look at the body shot as far as to the stomach, sternum. They don't look at that, and they don't look at the chest body shots, so but look at the whole ramification of body shots.
They better start. That's how you stop people. That's how you get KOs, to be real.
Exactly. And that's why like I said, I'm not no Earl Spence big fanboy or nothing like that. But that's why I appreciate what Earl Spence does. He goes right to the body. I'm talking about round one. He goes to the body. He makes sure that he can pretty much reach the body, first of all, by throwing away a couple jabs to see how far. That's how he measures, to see how far he has to go to the body. Then up close, you don't want to get up close with him because he's going to work that body, So, but that's all I had on that one. But it was a good fight, and, he just can match up with the young man. That's all.
Yeah, listen, man. Valenzuela, I didn't know this before the fight. I found out during KQKC's call. He trained with the Beterbiev.
Yeah.
And then when you look at his fighting style, I was like, shit, okay, I can see it. And when we did our breakdown prediction, I said the key for him is going to be to go to the body on Dulé, because Dulé, in his last fight against Magdaleno, he went the distance with him, but he got dropped multiple times with body shots. And then the times that Dulé got stopped, he got stopped with body shots. And Dulé will fool your ass if you let him. Like when you come out there, he be posturing and shit. You know what I'm saying? The way he looked like he a slick fighter, bro. He looked like he's slick, but he easy to hit, man. He got a lot of holes in his game and a lot of holes in his defense. Right. And Valenzuela came out there and took advantage of that shit from the time that the bell rung. He started tearing this man's body up, and it looked like it was over in the first round. They were showing the damn punch stats and shit. It's like they said Valenzuela landed 40 power punches in round one, and Dulé landed 7. I was like, damn, that shit crazy. He about to get his ass whooped. And Valenzuela, if you ever seen him fight before, he don't stop. He can keep up that pace for all 10 rounds. He keep it going, man. He was all over Dulé with them body shots, landing combinations. One thing about Valenzuela, though, he took some shots. He took some shots from Dulé. Dulé landed some damn good shots of his own. It's just that he wasn't strong enough for Valenzuela. Valenzuela seemed like he got a good beard to him, got a good chin on him. But as you step up in competition, people get better. People can hit harder. So I want to see Valenzuela shore up his defense. I want to see him continue to get better. But he's definitely a force offensively, and he's growing into his power. The young man is 22 years old, and now his record is 11-0. With 7 knockouts, and you see a record like that, you're like, oh, he ain't got that much power, but he done knocked out 6 of his last 7 opponents now. So his power, as he's getting older, they keep talking about Devin Haney, right? Like, oh, he gonna grow into his man strength. He gonna go into his man strength. Well, I think Valenzuela is an example of, as he's getting older, that pop is starting to come, that power is starting to come, because he's knocking out guys that are on a higher level than when he first started fighting. And now as he's getting longer rounds and starting to fight these 10-round fights, he's starting to wear on dude. So Valenzuela down there at 135 with that work rate, with how much he punches, you're gonna have to outbox him, because it's gonna be hard to outwork him and win rounds off of him. You're gonna have to outbox him. You're gonna have to use movement, the same kind of game plan that people may come up with to somebody like David Benavidez. They kind of fight the same. I think he got a little bit more head movement. He's a little bit more athletic than David Benavidez. He don't square up as much. But as far as work rate, different combinations to the body and to the head, Jose Valenzuela got it, man. I'm excited to see what's next from him. They call him El Rayo. El Rayo is a problem, man. Yeah, he a problem. He probably down there
Man,
at 135 pounds.
wow.
So I can't wait to see 135 pounds, 140. It's some nice young talent in those divisions, man. I
Yeah.
hope we get to start seeing all these guys mix it up. So we got the last fight of the Fox card. We got David Morrell and Atlantes Fox. They went at it. Damn good performance from David Morrell Jr. What do you think, KQ? The young phenom showed up and showed out. What you got on that fight?
Well, you know what? David Morrell and Fox, that was okay fight, but Fox from the get go, and Morrell I think knew it. You know, now before I get started on the breakdown of the fight, I noticed that he only had 5 fights, and a lot
Yeah.
of people say, "Wait a minute, 5 fights, and he a champion?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to understand, and Lomachenko did it too. You know, Lomachenko did it too. You know, sometimes when you position yourself and you with the right people, they're gonna put you in the right light. You know, so but now I will say this: David Morrell, he felt comfortable in there, and the reason why he felt comfortable because the opponent that he's looking at across the ring is scared of him. Now I know ain't no fighter scared of another fighter, but he was fighting timid. Okay, he was throwing jabs out there. He was trying to punch, but it didn't have nothing on it. You know, he was trying to put on a good face, but he didn't want to get hit by Morrell. He didn't want to get hit by him, and that's how he was fighting. He was fighting just like that, and I think Morrell knew it. But still, in all, Morrell had a great technique. He had a great technique. He walked him down. He put the earmuffs on and came straight forward. Now, of course, Fox was trying to tie him up, but then Morrell pretty much came and said, "You know what? Forget this." You know, and he refused to clinch, and he started fighting out the clinch after he come out. You know, so I mean, hey, shout out to Maria for doing a fine job. Now, Fox, he got kind of upset because they stopped the fight. Now, of course, I think it was a good stoppage. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I feel that was a good stoppage because see, that was his father that stopped the fight. You know, now one thing that I think was a mistake. Now, I have talked to Ronnie Shields on numerous occasions. Now, Ronnie Shields should not ever throw a towel in. The reason why I say that is because of this. Because he threw the towel in, and it can be mistakenly saying, okay, what, your guy don't want to fight no more? You know, who threw that towel in? You know, and everybody saying Ronnie did. Then David Morrell could have got, disqualified. You know, look, Fox had a lot of people in his corner. He had his brother, father, everybody. You know, so don't worry about them. Let your corner do what they do. That's what Fox got mad about. You know, but come on, Fox wasn't ready for David Morrell. David Morrell he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem. And the reason why I'm saying that because he did switch from orthodox to southpaw a couple of times in there. I don't know was it experimental or what, but then he come in with his hands down and he coming straight forward at you. He's coming straight at you and he throwing uppercuts, he throwing shovel jabs, he throwing everything he can at you. And yes, Fox he felt it. Matter of fact, he felt one so bad that he held on to Fox. And then Fox, no, get off of me. And then he that was a center 8 count, of course. But it is what it is. David Morrell had a good performance. It's not too much you can say about it because he did everything correctly. He did everything right. You know, he punched right off the guard, right to the forehead of Fox. You know, he came and walked him down. He got him in a corner, and then he started trying to tee off on him. We talking about uppercuts. We talking about jabs. So he did a
Mm-hmm.
great job. You know, there's no doubt about that. But see, now this is the part I like. This is the part I want. All right, when you got a guy like a Morrell, a Beterbiev, guys that put on a show last night, even Hitchens. Let's see that next level. Let's see that
Facts.
next level. And see, we don't see that much, right? Because we got someone like Gervonta Davis, where you got Leonard Ellerbe keep calling him a fucking star, but I know the blueprint they're trying to do. They're trying to stay right there and make much money as they can and sell him. But no, you got to move this guy. He might take an L. But at least he got in there with the best of the best. See, that's what fighters are missing today. Fighters are missing the big fights. They don't want the big fights. They just want to admire that belt and hold on to that belt. And like I said yesterday, they don't want to go this way. They want to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow fighting below you. You're gonna grow by going up over you. That's how you're gonna grow. Now, like I said, you might get knocked out. Or then again, you might perform, because you never know. Sometimes you need the best of the fighters, best of a fighter to bring the best out of your ass. So, but that's all I got. All right.
Yeah, so a couple of things I want to touch on, some of the things, and piggyback off of what you said for a couple of situations. So first and foremost, the Gervonta Davis point that you made. What people gotta understand for Floyd Mayweather, number one, he was a champion. Before the blueprint that they try to have Gervonta on, he was a champion first before he started doing all of that different, money team this and picking the fighters he fought. Not only was he a champion, before he went on that blueprint, Floyd Mayweather had fought fighters like Diego Corrales, Jose Luis Castillo twice, DeMarcus Chop Corley, Arturo Gotti, Zab Judah. Then he fought De La Hoya, took less money to fight De La Hoya, then started that whole pay-per-view king shit. But what we asking and what I'm saying is, where is Gervonta Davis's Arturo Gotti? Where is his DeMarcus Corley? Right? Where's his Jose Luis Castillo in a rematch of the first fight? I don't feel like Floyd lost the first fight, but it was close enough to where it warranted a rematch. Where is Gervonta Davis's Diego Corrales moment? That's what I'm saying when I criticize Gervonta Davis. So I want to make that point first, right? Then when you talk about David Morrell being the champion with just 4 fights, I'm happy for him. I don't care. I don't want to hear nothing. And if you criticizing him, I don't care about that. Because what I do remember is that Vasily Lomachenko very first professional fight, he fought for the WBO interim title against Jose Ramirez. His very first fight was for an interim title. His second fight, he lost to Orlando Salido, right?
Right.
Then in his third fight, he fought Gary Russell for the vacant WBO World Featherweight title in his third fight after losing his second fight. How many people with a 1-1 record, 1 win, 1 loss, fight for a world championship in their third fight, coming off of a loss? I'm not trying to hear that shit. So salute to David Morrell, whoever you got in your corner. Great job to them, because you definitely got the talent, you definitely got the goods. So with that being said, shit, if you got your shot and you was able to get a belt in your third or fourth fight, shit, whatever. You ain't gonna hear me complain. And salute the Zulu Lion coming through. And we saw Drew Titan in the building. Salute Drew. We got Stormy B-Man in the building. Stormy gonna be live at 10:30. He gonna be live at 10:30. So right when we get done here, y'all go check out Stormy, man. But yeah, I'm not. So I agree with everything that you said about Gervonta and David Morrell becoming the champion quick. Like, I don't care about that shit, man. I'm all for it. It's time for some minorities, Cuban, Afro-Cubans, and even Mexican fighters and Black American fighters. It's time for them to get some nepotism.
Yeah.
Shit, it's time for them to get, who you know and shit, instead of what you know, or and networking and get certain shots that other people don't get. So I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear that shit at all. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to him on that. As far as the fight, what I think of the fight, David Morrell, man, listen, the talent is undeniable. You know how certain fighters, they just pop off the screen when you watch them fight. They just move a certain way that's just so fluid and so athletic, and they power and what they do in the ring is so natural. You can tell that they just born to do what they doing in that ring. That's David Morrell to me. Like, he a huge problem for these people at the super middleweight division and moving forward. And KQKC made the point, he was like, yo, he might need to step up. Well, shit, the step up is y'all still trying to clean up the belts, WBA? Make him the mandatory for Canelo. Make him the mandatory for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only logical step for him. He already a regular champion. So it's time for him to start fighting the top of the division. He on the PBC, right? What's up with David Morrell versus David Benavidez or some shit? Can we get David Morrell versus Caleb Plant? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I want all that. I want all that, because that young man got the potential to be a superstar. If you want to move him fast for real. Move him fast for real. He can go all the way. He looked like he can make all the way up to cruiserweight one day. You know what I'm saying? Go from 168 to 175 and then up to cruiserweight. He got talent. As far as what he did to Atlantes Fox, salute to Atlantes Fox. You know, his brother Michael Fox got robbed in that same building. I'm surprised Atlantes was even willing to go to that motherfucker, to be honest with y'all. Like, y'all robbed my brother in this mug, and I'm finna go to the same building. All right. All right, shit, go ahead then. Like, I don't know, but Morrell didn't even leave it up to the judges, so that shit was never in that shit was never in question. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Knight, he ain't vacated yet. They saying that Canelo might vacate at 168, but as of right now, he's still the undisputed champion. He ain't vacated yet. But for David Morrell, he came out. That southpaw stance is nice. And what I like about him, KQ, he don't over move. He don't just be moving his head and bobbing and weaving for no reason. He's a very reactive and very instinctive fighter, and I love that, because that's how you catch people with cold ass counter shots, and that's how you're able to be creative when you playing off what somebody is doing in the ring. That's what Terrence Crawford is really good at. You know, he's really good at improvising and throwing punches from angles and shit that you don't see coming. And I see a lot of that with David Morrell. He'll work the body when it's there. He'll see what you're doing. He saw that Atlantes Fox couldn't get out the way of his right hook, so he kept throwing his right hook and then throwing his combinations off of that. Just a very instinctive, very good fighter. He's a Cuban fighter with great skillful boxing skills, like where it's just innate in him to be a boxer, but he got that aggression in him too. He's what you would probably get if maybe like Guillermo Rigondeaux was a front-footed fighter with more power that was aggressive with you. Like, he's just very skilled, and I'm very impressed with what I saw from David Morrell last night. I think when you talk about 168 and 175, it's so many great fighters that can make the divisions fun. Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, David Morrell Jr. stepping up in there. You got Beterbiev up at 175, Bivol, Zurdo Ramirez at 175. Them two weight classes could get it on and popping. They can get it on and popping like that, man. There's so many great fights to be made. And then you got Canelo. He ain't gonna be at cruiserweight forever. He got to come back down to one of them divisions. So those two divisions, man, between 168 and 175, they could be lit for the foreseeable future. They could be really, really lit and really, really popping, man. We can get some good fights going in the years to come. So with that being said, we got one more. Did you get a chance? Did you see? So you didn't watch the other DAZN card with Zurdo on it, right?
No, I didn't.
You haven't watched that yet, right?
No, I'm gonna watch it after I get through. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So we can still talk about it a little bit. Zurdo was able to get the victory last night. It was a highly competitive 175-pound fight, but this dude Yuneski Gonzalez, man, he came to fight. He looked like he was out on his feet a couple of times.
Wow.
But he just kept coming. He kept coming. They finally had to stop the fight. Like, it was literally, this is a fight that could have been stopped way earlier because the dude was out on his feet a couple of times. But he just kept coming for Zurdo. Zurdo took some shots, and one thing he showed, he a dog. He showed he got a chin. Yeah. He showed that Zurdo showed that he can take a shot. He do need to clean up some things defensively. And I think, honestly, if you watch the fight, it's more so of Zurdo being too confident, because when he decided to box, when he decided to roll with punches, and he decided to box from a distance, Gonzalez couldn't do nothing with him. But he just want to fight you. Zurdo's such a dog, he just want to fight you, so he give away his advantages. But he had the nice little chopping right hook working. from the lead position. He had the back left hand working. He just put on a great performance and showed that if you push him, he can push harder. And he did his thing, man. So that was a title eliminator for the WBA. So next we supposed to get Zurdo versus Dimitri Bivol. And that's gonna be a tough ass fight.
Yes, it is.
Zurdo got a chance to be making. Bivol should have tried to unify with Beterbiev when he had the chance. I'm trying to tell y'all, because Zurdo, shit, he ain't nothing to play with. But I kind of, after Beterbiev's performance on Friday night, I kind of see why Bivol didn't want to fight him. I kind of see why Bivol don't want Beterbiev, a different type of monster, man. But go ahead, KQ. What you got on anything to do with that fight? I know you ain't watched it yet, but Zurdo did get the victory. So what do you think of that fight, man?
Well, okay, what I have seen about Zurdo Marrero, he's a big guy, and he's a problem. He's a big problem. And now I understand why a lot of guys are trying to stay away from him. Now I understand why Canelo just, skip over that class. He don't want to run into a Bivol. He don't want to run into a Beterbiev. He don't want to run into a Zurdo Ramirez, because those guys can punch. And Zurdo, he can punch. Not only is he big, and he's a big muscular guy. Now, yes, he made weight and everything, but he still got that punching power. Now, with the films that I have seen him fight, and like I say, I missed it last night, but I have no doubt that he pressed his will on his opponent. I don't have no doubt about it that he pressed his will. He walked him down. And I know that he was throwing punches that were meaningful punches. So I can see that playing out in my head. I can see him coming with the front foot straight at him, and he's still trying to fight him off. All right. It wasn't no exchange, no blows, because Zurdo's too heavy-handed. And that's where Brown made a mistake at. He's trying to throw with Beterbiev. And Beterbiev was throwing right in between his punches. So he was countering his counter. So, but right now, I think Zurdo Marrero is going to be a future champion. Yeah, and right now, I think he's going to come in and pretty much wipe everybody out. And that's what I think about, like I said about 140. All hell gonna break loose when Josh Taylor dropped those belts at 140 and go to 147. Everybody that's at 140 gonna be trying to fight and make a fight with somebody so they can grab a piece of that belt, a piece of that heavyweight championship. I mean, I'm sorry, a piece of that junior welterweight championship. So, but Zurdo, I mean, hey, this dude, he can be a cruiserweight if you wanted to. He's big enough. So hey, if you can do it, goddamn it, he can do it. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, man. The light heavyweight division for years to come, man. We got it's some good fighters. It's some good fighters up there, man. And then I saw Spirit in the chat. He said Bivol says no one should want to fight Beterbiev on the inside. But the thing about Bivol, he gonna have to, because he's smaller than Beterbiev. He can't fight him from the outside because his reach too short. So eventually he gonna have to hop in there, and then shit, it's dangerous in that kitchen. You hop in that damn kitchen, your ass gonna get burned, man. It's dangerous.
It's hot in that kitchen.
Yeah, it's hot in that shit, man. You gonna mess around and get burnt up. So let's go to a couple of the female fights, man. So I was able to catch the Amanda Serrano fight versus Miriam Gutierrez. It was, man, she beat her up. And this is a common opponent with Katie Taylor. And they supposed to fight. It was being reported that Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, they have an agreement to fight already. I don't know how true that is, but that's the fight I want to see next. But Amanda Serrano, OG, she did what she always does last night, man. She went to the body like you love for her to do. She beat that girl up, had her face looking like a whole strawberry by the end of that fight, man, and just really, really, in my opinion, didn't lose a round. They scored it like 99-91 or something, but she just beat that girl up. I do have this consideration, though. She jumped up 2 weight classes to start fighting at lightweight, and she wasn't able to knock this lady out. I don't know. Hopefully, I want to see if her power is going to be the same. I want to see if her power is going to be the same up at 135 pounds. But overall, she put on a great performance, too, and she did her thing. And women's boxing needs Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. Like
Yeah.
it needs a big fight to really get people to continue to be behind it, because women's boxing is a great sport, man. They have some of the most entertaining fights on every single fight card that they put them on. But and T says Amanda was disappointed she didn't get the stoppage. She went for it. She
Mhm.
went for it. She was trying to knock her out because Katie Taylor couldn't knock her out. But Serrano she did what she always does. She beat up another woman and announced herself to the lightweight division in women's boxing. Man, what do you think of Serrano, man? How excited are you for a Katie Taylor fight?
Man, very excited. Very excited because we are talking about the two women that's making noise in the women division. We are talking about Amanda Serrano from New York by way of Puerto Rico. She can fight southpaw. She's an older woman and she knows how to get in there and she will bang. She will bang. She like to go to the body a lot. She like to wrap that left hand and right that base waistline and pop that kidney. She can go both ways. She go to the left and she can go to the right. And then she goes right down to the body. And I'm talking about she laid that left hand right there on the stern. Then she come in with that right hook. You know how she does it with the left going down to the body. Then she come with the right hook as she finish up. I mean, she can punch. And I liked her style. As a matter of fact, I called her fight on a Thursday night in Puerto Rico. And she showed up and showed out that night. I mean, she had her opponent on the ropes. And she was pretty much working it. She was taking her time. And her trainer, which is her father-in-law, he did a great job with her that night. And now Amanda Serrano, she's a household name, really, if you look at it. And Clarissa Shields now. Clarissa Shields is pretty much came in right in the transition period. I'm talking about the transition period where now the women boxers are starting to come alive, right? Not the MMA fighters like Ronnie Rousey. No, nothing like that. But now Clarissa Shields getting the attention that she wants on women boxing, but she ain't there right now. She's over in MMA. But still, Katie Taylor, she's from Ireland. She's from across the pond, but she can scrap. She might not be that big, but she will throw with you. And she would throw great combinations. And she jump in, she jump out, and she throw 1, 2, 3 piece real fast because she do have fast hands to be a woman. Now, of course, I call her the female Leo Santa Cruz because she does throw 90 plus punches per round.
In 2-minute rounds. That should be crazy.
Yes. Because see, the reason why that is knockout is because when she throws, she don't throw one at a time.
She throw like 4, 5 pieces.
Yes, exactly.
Like she's trying to feed a whole family with a bucket of chicken or some shit. Yeah?
You ain't lying. She throw a 10-piece right away, baby. Yes, sir. She come back with a 10-piece and a 15-ounce Coke.
I'm trying to tell you.
Wow. Yes, sir.
Teach you real quick to answer your question. 175. That's Joe Smith Jr. So you got Beterbiev got the WBC and the IBF. You got Bivol with the WBA, and then Joe Smith Jr. got the WBO up there at 175 pounds. Then Kevin Knight says, who's Bivol's mandatory? That's Zurdo Ramirez, brother. He fought in the title eliminator last night. That fight he had with Gonzalez last night was a title eliminator. So Zurdo Ramirez is now Bivol's mandatory. And I hate to say that a champion ducks somebody that's not a champion, but Zurdo and his team made an offer to Bivol before this Gonzalez fight, and Bivol didn't want to fight. And so WBA put Zurdo in a title eliminator. So for whatever it's worth, Bivol chose to fight another guy that, with no name for less money. So, well, it is what it is. But I want to get to some news because we only got 20 minutes, and I'm trying to piss KQKC off this morning. So I got to tell him some shit that Eddie Hearn had to say. But that was the weekend in fights, man. Hope y'all enjoyed that recap. But we gonna keep it going for another 20 minutes and get y'all out of here. So I was scrolling through some articles this week, KQ, and the title of this article is Eddie Hearn says Derek Chisora beats Dionte Wilder if it goes past 4 rounds. This is what he had to say. He says all of Chisora's losses have come at the elite level. and Wilder is elite level. Chisora can beat Wilder. If that fight goes past 4, Chisora wins, but he's got to get past 4. That's going to be dangerous. KQKC, do you agree with Eddie Hearn? You think?
Hell no. Eddie dreaming like a motherfucker, right? Look, David Chisora. Now, I mean, I will give it to him. He has been in there with everybody or anybody, but he's one of those guys like a semi gatekeeper. All right, yeah, he does. He's a rough and tough fighter, no doubt about that. But he doesn't have any type of technique. Now, Deontay Wilder, now he doesn't have that many techniques either, but he does have that old 1-2, baby. Yes, sir. He got that old get him out of there real quick. I'm talking about that right hand. He got that, but Chisora doesn't have that. Chisora is pretty much will come forward and don't no technique at all. He's just a big heavyweight, and he'll come in there and try to punch. And I'm talking about accumulating punches. That's what I'm talking about, accumulating punches. But with Wilder has that long jab. That jab will be going in Chisora's face all day long. Now, I didn't even know Chisora is still fighting, really, but still, it's good. It's great that Eddie's saying that because he's keeping the client. He's trying to have a wishful thinking and shit. But Wilder is not that bad where he can get beat by Chisora. I just can't see that. Now, Wilder has a jab. He has a jab. He has an 83-inch reach. That reach has won him, 4 rounds against Bermane Stiverne. And I have no doubt in my mind that he will use that jab on Chisora. And like I always say, that 1-2 baby work all the time. But Eddie, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. All right? Because see, Eddie always trying to put his fighters up. Which, you know what? And I respect Eddie for that. What was that last week, whatever, going back for Devin Haney. Okay, right. But sometimes, you overdo it. You overdo it because you're trying to get your fighters to say, okay, I'm not gonna leave Eddie because Eddie believes in me. Eddie got my back. Right, he got my back and stuff, but he's telling you a bunch of bullshit because in no way you're gonna have Chisora step in there, a smaller fighter, but still a heavyweight against Deontay Wilder. No, it's no doubt about it. Now, Chisora, now he has been knocked out before, and he can get knocked out again. Trust me. You don't want to go in there and fight.
He's been knocked out a few times.
Exactly. Now,
he's been knocked out a few times.
now. Eddie saying elite fighters, okay? That means because, like I said at the beginning, Chisora fought top-notch competition. Good fighters. He had fought good fighters. Now, Eddie did do a good job of getting him those fights. But did he come out successful? No, he didn't. But still, he did get in there and fought. Now, I will give him that. But still, Deontay Wilder is a different type of creature. He's a different type of fighter. Now, Chisora is no Tyson Fury. Now, keep in mind, that first fight, Deontay Wilder did knock down Tyson Fury. Now, I don't care what y'all want to call it, a slow count or whatever, but he hit the canvas. And you think that he going to have a problem putting Chisora ass on the canvas? No, because he been through the war. He been through the trenches with Tyson Fury. I mean, he been hit, beat up, everything. And that sometimes prepare you for your next fight. And then your next fight, you're a rough and tough and tumble type of guy. You might overwhelm your next opponent because you've been through a beatdown, which he did get from Tyson Fury. So that's why I think Deontay Wilder will beat David Chisora. And Eddie, stop that bullshit, okay? Stop that double talk shit, all right? I get it. You're trying to sell tickets and all that shit. I get that. You're trying to boost him up and make him more than what he is, okay? But, you hold tight, cowboy. Hold tight because ain't no way Deontay Wilder is going to sit there and lie down for Chisora, right? It's no way. So
look. So Deontay Wilder done knocked down everybody he been in the ring with. The only person he didn't knock out was a 6'9", 270-something pound Tyson Fury. And I'm
Well,
looking at Derek Chisora right now. Let me see this, because I don't think he's been knocked out by only the best. Let's see who knocked him out. Derek Chisora got knocked out by Dillian White. Okay. He got knocked out by Tyson Fury. That ain't bad. And he got knocked out by David Haye, bro. So y'all mean to tell me that David Haye can knock out Derek Chisora, but he gonna last with Deontay Wilder? And then the thing is, Deontay Wilder power carry. Like Eddie Hearn said, past round 4, Deontay Wilder is strong and punches strong every round of the fight, bro.
Right.
The moment that Deontay Wilder touches Derek Chisora's chin, he going to sleep, bro. He going to sleep. And it ain't like Chisora is somebody that's agile and shit. Like he get out the way of punches. He eats punches, bro. He eats them. We gotta stop with this. Like that's even, you know what? That's disrespectful that Eddie Hearn even came up with that. Like he shouldn't even have Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder in the same sentence. Like you want to put Deontay Wilder name with somebody from your stable. Say hey, AJ is about to fight Usyk. Whoever loses that fight, that'd be a good fight for Deontay Wilder. Like something like that, bro. But Chisora, fam, or even why not Joseph Parker? Why not Joseph Parker? Why you ain't mentioned Joseph Parker? He won the fight. He the one need a big fight. Why you bringing up Chisora, bro? He always do that shit. We talk about AJ and Wilder. He won't bring up Dillian White.
Yeah.
Joseph Parker win the fight. He proved he a contender. He won't try to throw Derek Chisora in there with Deontay Wilder. Why not? Why not Joseph Parker? Shit. Why not Joseph Parker? I would love that shit. I mean, let's get it popping. Yeah. Let's get it popping that way. But overall, what he had to say, I mean, you could take it as him just talking about his fighter and trying to big up him and all that shit. But at some point, you gotta tell the truth. At some point, you gotta be realistic and you gotta tell the truth. And he don't want to do that. Right. He don't want to do that. So I don't know, man. I don't think nothing of it. Let's go to this. So we got to touch on it. I don't do predictions on these fights because I don't really cover them. But this is unfortunately a part of boxing. I haven't really heard KQKC talk about this before. KQKC, Jake Paul knocked out Tyron Woodley last night in the 6th round, but I don't even want to talk about the fight. I just want to get your opinion. Do you think Jake Paul is bad for boxing?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, you know what? Let me rephrase that a little bit. Okay. Let me rephrase that a little bit. If boxing allow him to do this, and pretty much we paying his salary every time we buy a damn pay-per-view for him. So if boxing allow him to do this, then you can't fault him really, because boxing allow him to do this to a certain extent. Now he's just testing the water and see how far he can go with it, and they letting the leash loose a little bit more. I get it; it's supposed to be entertainment, but now I think somebody forgot to tell Paul that, because now he's taking it seriously. Now he said he a real boxer now, but if he knows, Lord knows, he's getting there with a real fighter, then he knows what happens. But boxing, see, this is what I mean. This is why we got good casual fans and good diehard fans just walking away from boxing, because we get fucked up with bullshit. And then the ones that's not bullshitting in real fights, we're not getting that. We're not getting that. So, I mean, we're getting a clown show. That's what we're getting. We're getting a clown show. I mean, you got guys in there from the NBA fighting. You got guys in there from the NFL fighting. Everybody want to be a celebrity boxer, So, and Floyd's somebody, he ain't gonna do it no more. Yeah, well, the price you got to be right for Floyd. That's all. Because Floyd is a person that loves the limelight. He's a person that you always got to talk about. He's a person that always want to be in the center of attention. And what make it so bad? I don't mean to hop off to the subject, knockout, but
do you?
But Floyd is the type that he wants all the credit. Now, he did say that he brought Tank thus far. Then he corrected himself. He said, well, we did it collectively. No. You meant what you said the first time. I brought him up to this point. No, you did not. Calvin did. And like someone said in the chat last night, I bet Calvin can't stand his damn guts. Because
Yeah, I bet he can't stand Floyd.
yeah,
Yeah.
because every time he's trying to give Javante Davis some type of advice what to do in there, Floyd walking around and all the way up in the corner there telling him what to do. Sit your ass down like Bob and everybody's doing. You don't have to do that. He has a trainer. He had a trainer since he was 8 years old. So why in the hell you keep balling that man when he's fighting? And now Javante Davis, he's growing. He's maturing. He's coming into his manhood, fatherhood. He came a long way from stuttering and all that shit, right? And now here Floyd is, he's looking at Floyd because that's his promoter, that's his idol, so he's gonna listen to him. Then you got Calvin, who is his idol, who's his hero, who's been around since he was 8 years old. You want to listen to him too, but you can't do that. That's why it just mind boggles me when Terrence Crawford said he had 3 trainers. How the hell you got 3 trainers? I mean, who you gonna listen to? I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can't.
That's crazy.
You can't. I mean, boxing has taken a turn sometimes like the NBA. I alluded to this last night. Michael Jordan said he will never play in the NBA today. Why? Because it's less physical. Everybody shooting 3-pointers. Ain't nobody down in the hole, boom, elbow them, moving them out of there like Barkley and Oakley used to do. Nobody's doing that now. It's too soft. It's too watered goddamn down, right? And that's the way boxing is too. We saw that last night. You stop a fight, you can't let man be man. This is a combat sport, and that's what they did. They stopped that man from getting off. They stopped that man from potentially going for a one-hitter quitter, baby, because you never know what can happen in the last 10 seconds of a fight. Because I have seen it happen with Diego Corrales. Yes, sir. I have seen it
got
happen.
that knockout, yeah.
Yes, sir.
He getting his ass whooped too.
Yes, he would get his ass whooped, spit out that mouthpiece, put it back in, spit that bitch out again, then came back and knocked him out like a rag doll. Baby, man, I'm talking about, Joe Guzman as a coach at that time, but you know what I mean. So now boxing got to make some decisions. Ever since they got in this full belt era, things been kind of all over the place. I mean, we got 50-something belts or something like that, and
it's a shit ton.
Yeah, so I mean, they're gonna have to start revamping this whole thing and start from scratch, but still keep it going. But you can still keep it going and make some changes at the same time. So, but yes, is he bad for boxing? I think he is. Because see, let's just say that somebody that don't know nothing about boxing, they think Jake Paul a boxer. They think they think he a real boxer, So, I mean, come on. You got to separate, clown shows and the Universal Soul Circus. You're gonna have to pretty much separate that shit.
It's Soul Circle. I went to Soul Circle when I was a kid. So here's what I got. And salute to the truth. Salute to G5 Gabe. Salute to Tony's Reviews. Everybody coming in the building. Y'all smash the like button. I know all y'all didn't hit the like button. Did you? Man, did you hit the like button? If you didn't, go ahead and smash it. So here's what I got. So I say Jake Paul is not bad for boxing. And hear me out. Here's why I say he's not bad for boxing. Because I'm hoping that all his sideshow and shit, having a basketball player fight against a football player and shit. The only good thing is he had Amanda Serrano on his card and he's getting her more money than she could ever make. But just overall, why I say he's not bad for boxing is because what I'm hoping will come from it is that boxing will clean itself up. Is that boxing will see that Jake Paul is coming in, making a fool out of them, getting more money than them, getting more people in the stands, selling better pay-per-views, and they'll realize that they need to cut the bullshit out and start putting on a better product. See, that's why people can come in and do your shit. Like, ain't nobody coming in and taking over the iPhone, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason for that. Ain't nobody coming in, and there's no other football league that's about to come and overtake the NFL, right? There's no other basketball league that's about to come in and take over the NBA. And the reason that is because all of those things I mentioned, the iPhone, the NBA, the NFL, they all provide their consumers with a great product. And when you have a great product, it's hard for people to come in and get some money and then get out, because everybody like, man, I ain't fucking with you. We already got a great product over here. But boxing is the opposite, with all this corruption, fixing fights and shit. You got people making the wrong decision, fighters not fighting each other, cherry picking fights, not holding fighters accountable. When you add all that together, that makes for a horrible ass product. That makes for a bad product where fans have to pay for fights that they shouldn't have to pay for. It should be free. Fights that fans want to see, they don't get made until 3 or 4 years, 5 years later and shit. And so somebody like Jake Paul can come to that shit and be like, man, shit, I got a large following. Let me scoop in here and get some money from y'all right quick. Then I'm going to scoop back out. Then I'm going to scoop back in and get some money. And I'm going to scoop back out. Like, he's able to do that shit. And so hopefully, if boxing is smart, if the Al Haymans and the Bob Abrams and the fucking Eddie Hearns and the Gilberto Mendozas and Mauricio Suleimans, all these power players in boxing, if they're smart, they'll see this shit and they'll say, yo, we got to start providing the people with a better product. And it's like KQ was saying about Floyd, like, yo, we can't even report our pay-per-view numbers, dog. Them hoes horrible. Nobody bought this shit. They horrible. Maybe we should put them in there with a better fighter. Maybe we should actually get a fans what they want to see, because Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, so a fucking YouTuber, right? And an MMA fighter, they sold more than boxing's biggest star under 147 pounds. Like, do y'all realize how big of a problem that shit is? And so what I'm hoping is that he good for boxing. He'll wake their ass up. And make them be like, man, we got to do better, or people going to keep walking out the door. Now, maybe they won't, because a lot of these boxing people in power like Floyd and such, they're selfish as hell and they only care about the money that they make. But me, I don't want to see the sport die. And it's just getting less and less popular as the years go on because of shit like this. Because how can, like, think about back in the 90s, you could not put some celebrity versus somebody that's not a boxer, and then on the undercard you have two athletes that aren't boxers on the card, and that shit would sell in the 90s. Boxing fans and people all over the world would look at you like you crazy, and they would do that shit because the boxing matches and the cards were so much better back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were way better. So to me, I think he can be good for boxing, because hopefully he'll wake them up. Competition is always good to me, because it's gonna weed out the weak. And so he's giving boxing some competition and a run for its money, and he's showing that things can be done and things can be seen a different way. And I think that's always good, because when you don't have competition, then you're just able to lollygag and do whatever the hell you want to do. So shit, we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. You know, I want to see boxing get better. So that's my take on it. But it kind of is what it is. We're to the end of the show. I appreciate everybody coming through. KQKC, give him your last words. And
yes,
I'll give him my last words, and we'll get on up out of here.
Yes, sir. I am KQKC Boxing Network. I come on Monday through Friday, and that's at 12:30 p.m. Central Time. And also come on Saturday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. And if there's a fight on Saturday night, your boy KQ will be calling that fight. And also, don't forget to be right here. I think we might have one more week on Knockout platform, because you need only like 60 more subscribers, and he will have 2,000 subscribers. I mean, listen,
yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, you all, and I mean, listen up good. All right, this shit ain't easy. All right, especially what Knockout does. He does the analytic part of this. All right, he digs deep. He goes do research, and this is not easy. And then he had to present it to you all, and he had to present it the right way, in the correct way. And he got a great prediction rate, and he break it down. And you have to not only break it down because you got the information, but you got to have the boxing IQ mind to think about and put all that information together. Same with creators, same with Stormy B, same with me. I mean, we don't just hop on here and say, hey, what about such and such? What you think? No. You got to have a plan. All right. When my father was teaching school for 38 years, they had what they call lesson plans. Right. You write out what you're going to talk about and teach that week. You got to write it out. every week, right? Okay, well, we have lesson plans. We're gonna have to talk about what we're gonna talk about on our live streams, and we had to get that shit together, and we have to fact check that shit. So this ain't easy. So show him some love. Show him some love. All right. Okay, because that's what we do here in the YTBC. That's a YouTube boxing community. And what we do is we share and we support each other. And we got to support Knockout Boxing TV, all right? Because he's working hard and he just needs 60 subscribers. I mean, can some brother and get some love, all right?
Please. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. So don't worry about me, all right? You worry about him, all right? Because we lift each other up, all right? And that's all I have. All right.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. And yeah, we live every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. The holidays are here. They might switch up the schedule. I'll keep y'all posted on the community page of what we got going on. If we have to move a show back, move a show up, all of that good stuff. And then we also live with KQKC every Sunday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then Stormy B Man will be live right behind us at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then KQ is live every single day. So y'all go check them out. G5 Gabe just dropped his link in the chat, so y'all go subscribe to G5 as well. And then I got the daily content coming, man. Every single day I'm dropping daily content, so y'all check out those videos. We're gonna keep those coming. We got breakdowns and predictions, as KQKC said. We got videos on the hottest news in boxing, so everything that you need to help you understand what's going on in boxing is right here on the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at KOBoxing86TV. Other than that, man, go Cowboys. We're gonna get this W. Kevin Knight, I appreciate that Cash App. I saw it come through just now, man. Thank you so much for that Cash App. And I appreciate everybody that came through today. Smash the like button on your way out. KQKC, enjoy your Sunday. And we'll talk to y'all later, man. We out of here. Peace, y'all.
All right, peace.